Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good morning. The translation for that mantra is, may both the teacher and student be protected. May both be cherished. May we work with full energy, that our study together give good results. May we never feel ill will towards each other. Today is the final class on Anahata chakra for this year, and we're going to look at a concept called Mudita, which the translation would be empathetic joy. Let's go ahead and tune in, and I'll talk a little bit more about the practice as we go through. So as always, find a way to sit where you feel strong, grounded, stable, where you feel as though your skeleton lines up in a way that's easy to support itself. So once we get that sense of solidity in our base, then we can turn towards that ever-present desire to be something greater or more, and you may experience that by an upwards lift through the top of the head. And then finally, we will watch the breath for a few minutes, shifting to that more observational state of mind, shifting out of the chitter chatter of the normal thinking mind. Perfect. And now we'll do Om Namo Guru Dev Namo 3 times to step over the threshold into our practice together. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Guru Deva Namo. Namo Guru Deva Namo. Inhale. Contain energy in the base of the body by contracting more bond. Contain energy in the top of the body by lifting the chest and drawing the chin slightly towards it. Perhaps feel those energies merge in the center of your being for a more explosive, dynamic movement of the Kundalini up the spine. All right, good. We'll start out with a few practices to enhance lung capacity. And then we'll do some ego buster. Perhaps getting more benefits from it based on these preceding practices. All right, so the first one will inhale upright. And then as you exhale, fold forward. And you're using the folding forward to help squish all the air out. Contract the muscles in your torso and your belly to squeeze every bit of air out. And then as you come up, inhale. And we're going to hold our breath for as long as we comfortably can. Something that helps is to relax these scaling muscles down in the neck. Continue to cultivate a sense of being relaxed, and then go ahead and slowly take your arms straight up overhead. Keep the breath in. Relax a little bit more. Keep the breath in. And when it becomes a struggle or distress, go ahead and exhale. And let the arms come back down. So let's repeat that whole thing a few times. Inhale upright. Exhale, fold over. Let the mechanical movement of the body help squish air out. Inhale up. Hold the breath in. Count up to 20 seconds if you can. And while you're doing that, go ahead and pick your arms upright, keeping the tops of the shoulders relaxed down. When you feel like you need to breathe, maybe take one more second. See if you're able to relax somewhere more in your body. But then when there's any sense of distress, go ahead and exhale and let the arms come back down. Deep inhale. Exhale, mechanical pressure of the breath out. Inhale up. Really let your lung capacity expand. Hold the breath in as the arms slowly come up. Really find peace, 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 peace. And then when it's not peace anymore, exhale, arms come down. Maybe take a second to feel how you may already feel a little bit different, perhaps some additional clarity in the mental plane, possibly slightly more calm and peaceful feeling in the chest. All right, final practice. Inhale, upright. Exhale, every bit of air coming out. Inhale up. Hold the breath in as the arms come up. And when you're ready, exhale down. You may have experienced that sense of kind of loss of sense of self, feeling really expansive. That is one of the benefits of sustained breath holding. The fluctuations of the mind are supposed to abate during those periods of no breath coming in, no breath going out. All right, the next practice that we're going to do, we'll stay upright, deep inhale in and hold the breath in, but we're going to put our hands and arms in a particular position. So once you've inhaled and have all the breath in, you're going to put your hands on your hips with the thumbs forward and the fingers back. And if you have the range of motion in your shoulders to do so, it'll be all the way to where your pinky fingers touch behind you. If you feel like you've got more space to do that standing or sitting in a chair, then do it that way. So we'll take a full deep breath in. Hold the breath and go ahead and touch the pinky fingers behind, thumbs pointing forwards, and then use this position to expand through your chest. Again, we're shooting for that ultimate goal of 20 seconds, as long as it's a peaceful practice, and exhaling whenever it's not a peaceful practice. So we'll repeat that a few times. If you feel any tension or straining up here in the shoulders, you can do the inhale with the hands up here on the tops of your shoulders to keep the scalenes from engaging. And we'll do this full, steady belly breath in. Position the hands, expand through the chest as you hold the breath. Keep stretching the fronts of the shoulders, the fronts of the neck by drawing the elbows back. And when you need to exhale, exhale. Let's do one more of those. So inhale in. Hold the breath. Keep working your shoulder blades further and further behind you to where they would touch. Start to let the full expansion of your chest melt open. And when you need to breathe, go ahead and exhale. Anahata is associated with the element of air, and air, gas, moves to fill its maximum capacity. It can take on any amount of space. And I think in the same way, the positive emotions can do that. So as you keep working with the breath and expansion of the chest, as we keep going through class, feel that your positive emotions, the ennobling emotions, the elevated emotions are filling a greater and greater capacity. Okay, so now that we've got maybe some more space in our lungs, let's go ahead and do a little ego buster. So push your elbows straight. From that straightening there, lengthen through your thumbs and lengthen the shoulder blades down your back towards each other. The shoulder blades should be as far down towards your bottom as you can get them. And then we'll do powerful exhale, drawing the navel back. Passive inhale. Maybe let the inhale portion be a little bit longer than normal and feel the greater expansion that you have in your chest cavity. Great, keep going. So it's going to be natural to feel a lot of expansion in through the front and the top of the chest. See if you can also feel that expansion underneath your shoulder blades as the ribs in the back of the body and the side of the body also expand. Inhale, maximum inhale. Contain the energy in the base of the body with Mul Bandh. Bring the thumb tips together overhead, lift the chest, draw the chin towards the chest. Feel the merging of energy moving up your spine. Okay, great. One more little warm up. Fingers can either be on the tops of the shoulders. If that's not working for your shoulders, your hands can come up like a 90-degree angle, and we'll inhale as we twist to the left, exhale to the right. Keeping the focus on the lungs and the heart area, feeling the majority of the movement coming in that part of the body. After all that really good breath work, you might get a few little pops or cracks as your spine aligns. We're going to keep going and just reverse your breath so that you inhale when you go right, exhale when you go left. enhance your range just a little bit more at the end of the twist, a little bit twisting back, a little more twisting back each direction. And then coming to center, using Mulband to direct your prana, your Kundalini, your chi upwards. Using the lift of the chest, the downward drop of the shoulders, the downward drop of the chin to contain energy on the upper end. And allow that merger of energy to move up Sushumna, the main channel in the spine. All right, good. The next thing we're going to do is practice to balance the symmetry in our spinal column. A lot of us end up with muscular imbalances along the spinal column. So this is a great practice to do if you have any mid-back pain, or if you know you have any sort of functional scoliosis. All right, so we're going to come down onto our stomachs, and you're going to have one arm directly up alongside your ear, and the other arm is going to be out to the side. And you want to feel as though this arm is actually pushing your spine to be more straight, and this side is actually pulling your spine to be a little longer. So once you're in that position, we'll strengthen the musculature in that position by raising the spine up and lowering it down. Great, so we're going to reverse and do the exact same thing on the other side. So the arm that's long, you feel like the spine is lengthening on that side. And the arm that's out to the side, you feel like it's pushing the spine towards the midline. Once you've got that position, inhale up, exhale down. Great. Typically, if people have a side bending or a slight muscular imbalance, it's going to be so that they tip towards the right a little bit. So doing the arm extended up straight along with the right arm will help balance that left side out. But you can play, that's a great practice to bring balance to your spine. If you know you have any asymmetry, a lot of times just mousing on a computer can cause some of that. Okay, next thing, we're gonna work with some Cobra Push-Ups. So a couple of classes ago, we spent a lot of time getting length in our spine. So every time we do a repetition today, feel like your pubic bone or perhaps the tops of your feet are anchoring you on the bottom end, and then feel length through your spine on the top of your head. For these Cobra Push-Ups, we're going to keep our head and neck in line with our chest. So it's going to feel like you're peeling your chest up off the floor as you come up. Exhale down. Each time, reestablish that sense of length, anchored at the pubic bone, long through the top of the head, and inhale. Up. Exhale down. Isolating the movement in the rib cage area. Lots of length. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Work at your own pace. And as your spine warms up, you can move your hands lower down your body, so closer towards your chest,
pause for a second, and let's think about our shoulder blades. You want to spread your shoulder blades wide, and now draw them towards each other as hard as you can, like you're trying to squeeze a $100 bill between your shoulder blades. Great, and then relax. Same idea, take your shoulder blades and pull them as far down your back towards your bottom as they can go. So you're going to try and maintain both of those inward and downward movements with the shoulder blades as we continue with the push-ups. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up. And then the next time that you come up, find a position you can hold and do a bit of breath of fire. Inhale and roll down. Great. And then use your hands to push yourself up. And we're going to do a little bit standing. So come all the way up to standing and arrange yourself so that you can be close to a wall. This is going to be a stretch for the upper chest and shoulder, the armpit, this whole area. If you ever feel a pain that's stabbing and sharp like a knife, then you want to stop or adjust until it goes away. If you feel a sensation like a burning, that means you're doing it right. So we're going to start with maybe a foot or so away from the wall, and your hand is going to be touching the wall. You can be facing with your torso a little bit more towards the wall, and then you're going to slowly start to turn your torso away until you start to feel that warming in the chest, in the armpit. The muscle fibers that we're working with go in a lot of different directions, like a fan from the center of your chest out. So if you don't feel very much in one position, turn out of the posture, raise your hand up a little bit, and then turn back into it. Again, if you don't feel a lot, you can move your body closer to the wall, and that's going to enhance the sensation. So when that, when the sensation is the most intense, then you're going to want to hold your breath. So we're going to counter that with some deep inhales. The mudita is this concept of actively cultivating joy and happiness when other people succeed or have something positive in their life. So as we're working now with our breath and expanding, go ahead and imagine someone that you know that's had something good happen. And breathe into your chest, breathe into the perhaps slightly uncomfortable sensation, and develop a sense of profound, unbridled happiness at the other's success. You may try another arm position. We'll have another minute here. So most of us are fairly positive in our attitudes, but I find that I can always take it to the next level. Can you think of a circumstance where someone is succeeding, is having some positive aspect in their life where you may not be doing as well? Can you still cultivate the maximum amount of happiness for them? Good, and then you might want to step away from the wall to take some of the intensity off and shake your arm out. You might feel all around your shoulder and your shoulder blade from doing that exercise. Okay, you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. I think you know the steps now. Work with 2 or 3 different angles of the arm. If the sensation is not strong, move closer to the wall. Think about filling your lung capacity with breath. And now, maybe take the same individual or a different one that is having a success in their life right now and cultivate your sense of joy, of empathetic happiness at the positive things that are happening in their life. Notice if there's even the slightest area of, oh, maybe that will happen for me too. Any way that you might be qualifying your happiness for them, go ahead and let that go and move into deeper and deeper happiness, joy, delight at their good fortune. All right, we're going to come out of it. You might want to step away from the wall to take the intensity off and then just roll your shoulders out. See how you're feeling. All right, we're going to do one more practice against the wall. Something like a down dog variation. So we'll begin with our palms on the wall, your body as close to an L shape as you can muster, and then same as we did earlier, take your shoulder blades towards each other, take your shoulder blades down your back so that your shoulder blades are actively pushing your chest and your armpits broader and towards the ground. Your hands are strong, shoulder blades are strong, but your chest is really heavy, and you can let gravity passively take your chest further and further towards the floor. You might have a lot of sensation of, like I said, sort of a burning sensation. And then again, think of someone that is having a better circumstance than you right now, and find your maximum capacity of joy for them as you simultaneously overlay that with expanding in your chest. Great. And go ahead and lift your head up, maybe take a step towards the wall, and again, roll out anything that needs to move. We're going to repeat that one more time. This time we'll try and have our move towards our forearms being against the wall. So maybe your forearms will reach, if not, they're working towards that. And get your body towards an L shape, and then shoulder blades together, shoulder blades down your back. Couple your breath with expanding your lung capacity and simultaneously expanding your capacity for joy for others. Great, bend your knees, roll your spine up. Good, and then we're gonna come down onto the floor again. For the next two practices, sort of like the culmination of what we've been working on, let's get a little bit of core strength going to create that stability that we need to expand in the chest. So coming down on your back. Go ahead and bring your knees together like you're sitting in a chair, and you're going to squeeze your thighs towards each other like you're trying to, I don't know, I like that $100 bill. Feel like you got a $100 bill between your knees and you're holding it there. Curl your pelvis under until your low back is touching the ground. So you're going to feel like your hip bones and your lower ribs are moving towards each other. Use those muscles to tilt your pelvis. So low back's completely connected to the ground, and then we're just going to do some isometric, knees still squeezing together. Use your hands to push into your knees, and then release. Your low back may come away from the ground as you relax. Now re-engage your low back with the ground using these muscles here and isometric resistance, and release. And again, and release. And depending on how you feel today, you can keep going like that, or if you prefer, you can alternately extend one leg out and squeeze this side towards each other, and then switch so that that hip bone and rib cage on this side are squeezing towards each other. If you have a really great deal of core strength, you can even do this with your head off the floor. When you're doing this, it should feel like you're wringing out a cloth or something at your midsection. Good. Just enough to get those muscles engaged so we've got good stability as we do the next practices. So roll over to your side. Come up into a nice little baby lunge. And part of how we get the maximum expansion in through here is through being stable and grounded. So to do that, you want to feel the parts of your body that are touching the floor and anchor. Feel like you're anchored there. You want your thighs to be working. So as we move into a back bend, the natural tendency is going to be for our knees to sort of go outwards. And we're going to actively do the opposite. We're going to feel like our thighs are kind of rolling in and squeezing towards each other. And you can use the same area just above the hip bones and towards the low ribs to help you create some of that stability as well. All right, so let's do all that bottom work. Go ahead and take your arms up to 90 degrees. Keep everything here working, tons of work going on, and then start to lift your chest. Lift, lift, lift. Let it expand. Find someone that you feel joy for. Remove all limitations to your sense of joy for that person. Great, and roll out of that. And I should have said, if you're really strong, your back leg can be straight up into a higher lunge. All right, let's switch and do the other side. Ground through the parts of your body connected to the ground. Ground through your thighs by squeezing them towards each other and rotating them in towards each other. You'll feel maybe that scoop in your low belly when you do that movement. All right, good. Keep all that strength. Feel the length in your spine. And then let your chest start to roll out towards the sides, up towards the ceiling. Feel your shoulder blades underneath your chest, helping to support it. Find your joy in someone else's good fortune. Great. Come out of that. Good. For the final thing that we're going to do, you can be on one hip with one hand on the ground. The leg that's on top, you can extend out straight, and we're going to come up onto this knee and open our chest up. So similar ideas here, the parts of your body that are connected to the ground, feel them press down into the ground. Feel the strength in your core supporting you, and then find a place of wild abandon in your celebration of other people's good fortune. You may experience sensations or colors in your chest. Wonderful. Bend your top knee, settle back down to the floor. Now let's do the other side. All right, so top leg straight, balance on that foot and the knee that's down. And again, for those of you who are more advanced practitioners than me, you can do this with both legs straight, like moving out of down dog and towards a back bend. Shoulder blades moving together behind you, creating that support, similar to the support you feel in your knees and your feet and your hand. The support of your willpower and your determination at the navel that allows you to totally surrender to other people's good fortune. Great. And then relax out of that. All right, well-deserved relaxation on your back. Come down and relax. A little gong relaxation for the next few minutes. Deeper breaths. And wiggle your fingers, roll your wrists, maybe extend and roll through your elbows and shoulders. Wiggle your toes, undulate through your feet, roll your ankles. Maybe shift your hips and shoulders from side to side. Wrap your arms around yourself and squeeze. Give yourself a huge hug. Great, and then rub the palms of the hands together, soles of the feet together. And then either rock yourself all the way upright or roll over to your side and come up. Next, we're going to do a japa, which is a combination pranayama, mudra, mantra, practice all together. If you are working towards an advanced meditation posture, go ahead and adopt that now. A japa is a visualization that moves from the navel point up to the pit of the throat as we inhale, and a visualization of the energy channel or energy moving downwards to the navel as we exhale. And it's perfectly synchronized. Your awareness of the channel and the energy is at the same spot. And say if you're at the center of the chest, halfway through the practice, you'll be halfway through your incoming breath. And when you reach the pit of the throat, you'll be all the way inhaling. Same on the exhale. A japa can be done in different channels. Doing it here at the front of the body helps to purify, normalize emotional issues. What else? Before we move directly into that, let's establish an Ujjay breath. So that slight constriction in the throat. This is going to allow us to regulate the pace of our breath a little bit better, to slow down the rate of breathing. And perhaps most importantly for a japa, it gives us a mild auditory cue. The breath doesn't need to be any louder than just you yourself being able to hear it. If you work with Kichari Mudra, go ahead and take your tongue up to the top back of your mouth. And now let's start the visualization practice as well. If this is extremely elusive for you, you can just take the fingers of one hand and trace from the navel point across the center of the chest up to the throat as you inhale. And reverse it on the exhale. Part of this practice is learning to control or developing the ability to control what you're thinking about. Do your best to stay completely focused on the practice.
Wonderful, keep going. So the final component of a japa is to overlay the sound of your breath with a mental chant. The chant should sound similar to what your incoming breath sounds like. So the breath coming in is a bit like this. And the breath going out is a bit like this. Your mind harmonizes with the sound of the breath, enhancing the natural mantra of the breath with so. The Sanskrit translation of so hum is I am she or I am that, an identification with the essence of ourself, the part of ourself that is beyond the ego, that's connected to the universal. In this philosophical system, the little spark of our individual consciousness that divides from the universal resides at the center of the chest. And the mantra so hum is the sound of that individual consciousness. Just as the sound Om is supposed to remind us of the universal sound of everything, the sound so hum is to remind us of that universal spark of individual consciousness that resides in our chest. Keep going with the practice. I love that what this is doing is a union between our source of energy, our power, the center of our elevated emotions, and the center of the throat, Vishuddhi, purification and external manifestation. Feel, experience the harmony, the interplay between these three energy centers. And for this last minute, lock your mind into the aspects of the practice to the exclusion of any distractions. Hear the call of your soul and the chant of so. I am she. I am it. I am that.
Relax the tongue, relax the breath, relax the visualization and the mental mantra. And enjoy the expansive nature of your essence, the expansive nature of your emotional plane. Finding yourself dwelling more and more in the elevating emotions. Knowing that as you move through your day-to-day life, each time you find yourself experiencing one of the destructive emotions, that you're able to flip that on its opposite. Draw yourself up to the elevated opposite at the heart. Allow yourself now to feel unencumbered, to allow to drop away all of the old entanglements that you have with others in those destructive emotions. With some people, that may be the only way that you've ever been able to interact with them. And sadly, you need to just let those people drop further to the periphery. There may be experiences in your childhood, the earlier parts of your life, where you can now allow those destructive engagements to drop away and lift yourself up to an elevated emotion. In other words, heal any past entanglements with the destructive emotions. You might know them because you feel bad about yourself. Feel your inherent worthiness. And now to end, we'll do an active practice of empathetic joy. So bring to your mind someone that you love and some aspect of themselves that is better than yours, and sit in your heart space and feel nothing but unbridled joy for them having that capacity. You may experience sensations, colors, light. Dance into the sensation of the positive emotions. Let go of every bit of ego attachment that you have towards that other person's success. Let this moment be completely and 100% about them. Great, great. And now we're going to bring up someone that maybe is an acquaintance once removed, someone that you're have maybe more neutral feelings about. Think of some aspect of their life that is in a better place than yours, and sit in the heart space and cultivate total joy, delight, pleasure in their good fortune. You let go of whatever wish you might have to be like that, to have that kind of success.
the entire experience is about the other person. Wonderful. And finally, we're going to pick someone that's a challenge. You may not actively be having a challenging time with them. Don't pick Mitch McConnell to start out. Pick someone you're going to be able to be successful with. You don't need to feel like they are right if you've had a conflict with them in the past. You do need to feel total joy in some aspect of their life that's a success. Find somebody. Maybe even a member of the family. Where are they having good fortune? Where are they having joy? How can we breathe into that? In no way validating any negative aspect of them. Set that aside. Set aside any desire to belittle that good fortune. And just breathe into it. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Coming out of the practice now, we'll step back across the threshold, taking with us all of the many benefits we've gotten from our practice. We'll chant one long Satnam together. Let's bow, honoring our desire to cultivate our elevated emotions. Satnam, Namaste. Thank you. See you next week for Mother's Day practice.